You're listening to the Good Food CFO podcast, where we challenge the status quo of the food industry, celebrate good food founders who are building businesses on their own terms, introduce industry disruptors, and are redefining equitability. If you're ready to build your financial confidence and join the good food revolution to change the way the food industry does business, you are in the right place. I'm the Good Food CFO and your host, Sarah Delavan. Today on the podcast, I am sharing information, tips, and resources for you to have the most successful Q4 possible for your business. And if we're being even more specific, we're talking about having a successful holiday, one that is completely run on your terms, one that generates the right amount of revenue for your business, and one that generates profits. Now, I know that as this episode airs, it is mid-September, and I'm certainly not the first person you have heard talking about Q4 and talking about the holidays and how to prepare for them and how to make the most of them. But in my defense and in the defense of others who you will hear talk about this over the next couple of weeks and even months as we head into and, toward the holidays, we know that food businesses have a great opportunity this time of year. Whether you are a CPG brand or a catering business or a meal delivery business, this time of year brings celebration. It brings gift giving. And there is a lot of commerce that happens here. And there's a big focus on the ability to generate revenue. And, unless you're very, very new around here, you know that my focus is not on the top line. Now, the top line, your revenue line, is very, very important. But what we focus on here is how to ensure that when you sell, right, especially as your sales grow and as your revenue grows, that those revenue dollars turn into profit dollars. And Q4, and more specifically, the holidays within Q4, create both opportunity and, as I've seen many times in my work, risk. Because as sales grow, if founders have not done the pre-work, they have not done the forecasting, they have not looked at their margins, they have not calculated, what bundles and discounts make sense for their business, they haven't ensured that the shipping offer that they're offering is one that is profitable, or at the very least not detracting from the profits of their business, a really, really big sales month or sales quarter in Q4 can actually result in the biggest losses of the year. And that is what I want to prevent. I want you to have the biggest sales months and the biggest sales quarter possible. And I want you to hold on to as much of the money that you generate in this quarter in terms of profits in your business. So this entire episode is focused on how to approach, right? How you might approach the holidays and Q4 as a founder doing business on your own terms. And we're going to point you in the direction of some information, low-cost tools and resources, and also some services that will help and support you as you make decisions and move through the holidays. Now, before we dive into that, I want to share a quick story with you. When I was a buyer for a catering company in Los Angeles, we had systems, we had policies, we had procedures, not just for how we purchased product, because we were focused on sustainability and locality, right? And not just organic, but regenerative farming and products from those types of farms. But we also had systems and policies for the kitchen and for the office, right? The sales team. There were systems that we used every day of the year. And in one particular holiday season that is burned into my memory, all of those systems, all of those practices, all of those standards went out the window kind of slowly at first, and then it was a snowball. And we found ourselves operating in a way that we didn't normally operate, that was totally different from our day to day standards. And in hindsight, it was because we wanted to generate more revenue. And we said yes to a lot of things that we probably should have said no to. And saying yes to those things created, again, a snowball effect that really negatively impacted how I purchased ingredients and packaging, how the kitchen organized their preparation, their packaging, and then how the delivery team, which really was a fleet of drivers, and a couple women running that part of the organization, they had to work and rework their systems, their schedules, all of it as things continued to change. And when we did our review after the holidays in the new year, we had a stellar 2 months in particular, November and December, and then early January with the new year kind of holiday. Stellar months in terms of revenue, but we had the biggest losses of the year. And so this big opportunity for us where people worked so hard, worked longer hours than normal, resulted in the biggest losses. It was the biggest detriment to the business. And that lesson has stuck with me to this day, and I know will carry on with me forever. And that is why I think that it is so important to ground ourselves in our beliefs, in running our businesses on our own terms, in setting standards and boundaries and limits for ourselves and staying true to those things, especially during Q4 and the holiday season, or whatever your busy season of the year might be, quite frankly. And so, as I said a couple of moments ago, I want this to be a big sales quarter for you if that's what you want it to be. But more than that, I want it to be a big profits quarter for you. And so at the root of all of this, before we get into any specifics about the holiday and the tools and the resources that we have available to help you, I want you to get clear on your vision and your goals for the holiday. And that might look like creating a sales forecast, right? Like looking back to last year and seeing what you sold, how many units of your products did you sell? How profitable or unprofitable was your Q4 or your holiday season, right? Examining that and setting goals and a vision for you and your team for this year. And thinking about, like the experience I just shared, did your team feel unorganized last year? Did you have to pay a lot of overtime? Did things get a bit out of control in a way that you don't want to happen again during the holiday season? And I think that it's a critical step to create a vision for Q4, to share that with your team and perhaps even get their input and insights into it, and to set targets and goals for both how much you want to sell in terms of units, but also where you're going to set your limits, right? What your capacity is in terms of, number of units you can produce, or when you're going to take that last order, before Thanksgiving or before Christmas. And really being clear on that, and then staying true to those visions and commitments that you are making, because in the long run, it makes for a much happier and healthier Q4 and holiday season within your business. And now, if you haven't made a forecast at this point in time, I highly encourage you to do so. go back. If you're not someone who makes a forecast generally, we have an annual forecasting podcast episode with Felice that you can go and revisit. You can come into the Good Food CFO community and ask some questions. We've got resources to help you there. But this is really important free work for the holiday, is to make a forecast of how many units of product you think that you are going to sell or that you think you can sell. And from that number, sort of work backwards to how many, pounds of ingredients are you going to need? How much packaging are you going to need? How much do you think you're going to sell online versus in person, maybe at like holiday events or, through your wholesale relationships. And so you can get your packaging like for shipping and stuff pre-ordered and organized for the holiday season, right? As much preparation as you can do beforehand, do it. It makes, again, a much calmer Q4 for you and your team. With that information, then you can also determine how many man hours do we need to actually produce the product that we believe we're going to sell, and what is the schedule at which we want to produce it. You can also think about creating a portion of what you think you're going to sell in Q4 upfront, and then monitoring actual sales and actual inventory, and then continuing to produce so that you don't overproduce, right? Or overspend in terms of labor and things like that. So having a plan, having a forecast, having a vision for how you want the quarter to go, I think is a very, very good foundational start to having a profitable and what we're going to call successful holiday season and quarter four. I also would be remiss if I didn't say that you should head into the holidays knowing what you're going to sell. There are companies, right, who maybe like add in complementary products, right, or purchase from another brand to build, bundles and baskets and gift sets and things like that, right? So figure out what are those things you're going to buy and how much do they cost? How much do your products cost to produce, right? And really understand the baseline everyday margins of your products. Because as we'll talk about in a couple of minutes, when you start bundling things and discounting things, if you're considering doing holiday sales, this information is going to be so important to ensuring that you can have a profitable holiday season. So without further ado, let's dive into some of the first sets of resources that we have. Now, of course, we have a vision and goal setting course. If you are already a member of this course, it's lifetime access once you purchase. We encourage you to revisit this a couple of times a year if you'd like, right? So doing it in advance of Q4 is a good idea for a lot of businesses and brands. We're going to do it for our business. I know we're not a food business, but as we head into the holidays, we're going to create a plan. And as we head into the end of the year, and it's a great thing, as I mentioned, for food founders and brands to do as well. It's a great way to also determine what resources you're going to need beyond labor and packaging, right? What kind of social media spend or any other kinds of spend might there be to support your goals for Q4. The next thing I want to point out are 2 episodes that aired in the past on this podcast. And so, we're in season 7. We're nearly at the end of season 7, actually. And so it goes without saying that we've had some Q4 episodes in the past. And so I want to call out episode number 28, which is called Tips for a Profitable Holiday Season. And we talk about bundling your products. We talk about discounting your products, and we talk about how to do it in a way that preserves profits within your business. So it's key things to think about as you decide, am I going to participate in things like Black Friday sales or Cyber Monday sales, right? Or the small business holiday and offer a discount there. Does it make sense for your business? And how much of a discount can you truly afford and still have a profitable holiday season, right? This is really important pre-work to do. We don't recommend waiting until the last minute to run a sale. Also, you may run the numbers, right? You may look at your current profit margins and realize that you don't have a lot of room to give. And you may think about your customer and your client and believe that they will purchase your product, even if you don't offer it on sale during the holiday season, because they are loyal and because they want to give the gift of your product, and it doesn't need to be on sale for them to do so. So this is very much a, doing business on your own terms moment where you can look at the numbers and make a sound decision that's right for you and your business about whether or not to participate in sales, or how many kind of sales you want to participate in over the holiday season, and then how much of a discount makes sense for you to offer on your products. And it might be that you offer a discount on all products. It might be that you choose select products that are more profitable, right, in your everyday business to offer at a discount over the holidays, because they still will have a good profit margin for you, but there's also the value of the discount for your customer. So lots to think about here. We talk through a lot of it in episode 28. And in support of this work, we are launching a brand new, super low cost tool to help you out. It is called our Bundle and Discount Calculator. And it's really meant to be a companion to this episode. It's pre-built for you so you can plug in your information and quickly and easily make decisions on which products to offer, if any, at a discount, how deep of a discount to offer those products at, and how best to build bundles for your customers so that you're offering them value, right, and a bit of a discount, but maintaining profitability. And this is especially helpful if you're also bringing in additional products from other food businesses or maybe artists or artisans to bundle into your product as well. You can incorporate that into the costing of your bundle and determine the right price for your business. So we're super excited about that. That calculator is available now inside the Good Food CFO community. And if you're not yet a member, go on and join us. But you can also access the calculator on the Good Food CFO website. Just go to thegoodfoodcfo.com and click on courses, and you'll find the calculator there. The next episode that I want to talk about, so totally free resource here, is going to be episode 26, which is titled How to Create a Profitable Shipping Offer. This has been such an important topic to talk about and such important work to do really since 2020. I mean, we all know what happened in 2020. We don't need to rehash that, but it was the year that online sales took off in general, right? And the pressure to compete with big online retailers like Amazon, who offered free and low cost shipping, was immense. And so what we saw at that time was, in a lot of cases, shipping offers that were eating away at any online profits that a business had, and were actually creating losses in the online sales channel, which really should be one of your most profitable channels. And so that is why we created this episode, to talk through the steps you can take and sort of what to think about to ensure that you've got the right shipping offer in place for your business and your customers. We dive into that a bit in this episode. And then also to really understand how you should be charging for that shipping offer, whether it's a flat rate shipping offer, whether it's a free shipping offer, right? Whether it's, some other type of offer. And there's really like 4 major ones that you can choose from. So super important if you plan on shipping product during Q4 and during the holiday season, especially if you're also offering discounts on your products, right? Because that's going to play into how much room you have, how much margin you have to give away in your shipping offer. So I cannot stress enough how important revisiting your shipping offer is as you head into Q4, as you head into the holiday season. Last year, we saw the USPS. I can't remember if UPS and FedEx also had rate hikes, but the Postal Service increased their rates and decreased their shipping time commitments heading into the holidays. So keeping up, and we'll do our best here to keep you informed, but keeping up with how things are changing in the world of shipping and making sure that your offer is profitable, or at the very least, not detracting from the profitability of your online sales, is going to be a critical component for a profitable Q4 and holiday season. In support of doing this work, we are bringing back our most popular seasonal workshop. That is our pricing for free shipping workshop. It's what we've called it historically, but we're changing the name a bit to something to the effect of how to create a profitable shipping offer. Because it's not just about creating a profitable free shipping offer. It's about finding the right offer for your business and for your customers. So we're going to be doing this workshop live. With it comes, of course, the workshop, right? The presentation, the information dives a little bit deeper than the podcast does. It also has a calculator to help you determine what is your current shipping offer and how is that affecting your profitability today, right? Is it aiding in online profits? Is it sort of a net zero, right? Like you're breaking even on shipping, and that's often a good place for people to be. Or is it in fact detracting from your profitability? And with that information, you can then craft a profitable shipping offer. And it's very much a hands-on workshop. Comes with a workbook, as I mentioned, and the calculator, and of course a Q&A session with me. So the dates for that live session are available inside the Good Food CFO community. And if you're on our mailing list, we'll also announce it there as well. Things change, so I'm not going to announce it here in this podcast episode, but definitely go to either of those places for more information. If you can't make it to the live session, we will offer a recording of the workshop. So don't worry if you can't make it to the live edition. And if you've attended the live workshop in the past or purchased the recording of a previous workshop, you have lifetime access. So there's no need to repurchase this workshop again, and you'll actually get the updated version once the recorded workshop for 2023 goes live. So you can access it from the courses section of the community. That goes with all courses, workshops, and tools that you purchase from the Good Food CFO. You've got lifetime access to them and any updates and upgrades that happen. So definitely check that out if you are doing shipping, if you kind of want some support and help with the calculators and the math and figuring out what the right shipping offer is for your business. Okay, so we've covered some free resources, some low-cost tools, and a workshop that's coming up. And now I want to talk about two new services that we recently launched inside the Good Food CFO community, actually this month. And they may help in supporting you as you prepare for Q4 and the holiday season. So we wanted to talk about them here as well. The first service I want to talk about is called our Quick Question service. I get questions all of the time from founders in my inbox and in my DMs that start something like, "Hey, Sarah, quick question." And you all have such great questions. And it's so clear that you are thinking about how you can do business differently, how you can do business on your own terms. And you want to get things right from a financial standpoint. I am inspired by so many of your questions, and I truly want to answer them all. But when I think through the responses, it is more often than not too much to type out. It is never as quick as the founder thinks it is, because there's never a one size fits all answer. So what the Quick Question service allows you to do is to submit a question and then get an audio response from me. Totally personalized audio response within 5 business days. And this is so helpful for me because it means that I can support any founder that has a quick question, and I can do it in a way that is easiest for me to respond rather than trying to type out sometimes technical information in an email. It's just so much quicker to talk it out. So it truly becomes a real quick question and a quick response. Now, there are some guidelines around the type of question that can be submitted as a quick question. For example, you can ask a question like, do you have any tips or guidance as a starting point for how to price my product for wholesale? Or how do I classify a particular expense? Or what systems should I have in place before working with a co-packer? Or how can I determine my promotion budget? Or how do I know if my product profit margin is high enough? Those are the types of questions that I can answer via a quick question service. If you have a more financially specific question, like what should my holiday discounts be? Or is my shipping offer profitable enough for my business, right? Those are not well suited for the quick question service. Those are better suited for our other brand new service called CFO Office Hours. Now, we launched Office Hours this month and our September session is happening now, but you can purchase passes for our October session, which will begin on October 12th. And I think the timing is great to bring your bundle and discount calculator or your perfect pricing calculator or your shipping offer calculator. Bring those tools to the office hours and get some support and have the ability to dig into that and get some coaching and advice from me in those sessions. Now, each of the passes is for 4 weeks, and you can get more details on the questions you can ask and the information that we recommend bringing, as well as how to purchase the passes and any other questions you may have inside the community. In addition to the podcast episodes, brand new calculators and workshops and services that we are launching in support of your most successful Q4 and holiday season, we're also going to be answering your questions inside the community. Chelsea Steer, our community director, and myself go live most Tuesdays inside the community to share news and updates and to answer your questions. So be sure to get inside the community, check out the calendar, and join us for one of our upcoming events. For more content and connection with good food founders and industry experts, join us inside the Good Food CFO community. Visit thegoodfoodcfo.com/join to learn more. Thank you, as always, for spending time with us here today. If you enjoyed this episode or found it helpful or inspiring in any way, please share your thoughts with your founder friends and on social, and rate and review the podcast wherever you listen. That's the #1 way to help more good food founders find the show. I'll be back with a brand new episode in 2 weeks.